Welcome back, everybody. Greet engage, salutations, and it's time to get back into the shadow over cyberspace again. This is Orbital Lance. I'm the Orbital Lancer, and this is the bedroom where we wake up every time we just finish talking to one of the old ones. The blood splatter is still on the wall from the last video. If you missed last video, you missed some stuff. Okay, no new mysterious bloodstains today. No nightmares about mystery assassins. I wonder how that event plays out if you don't have the help of Dagon's people. I assume you survive it anyway, because when the game started, it was pretty clear that you do make it to the end of the game no matter what happens. So I've got a feeling that that's not like a sudden game over moment for you. And that would be kind of weird if it was like the only game over in the game before the Strange Aeon. You know, I was feeling great coming off the high of that LAN party. Everything was going to be just fine. Hopefully today brings with it some good news to ease me back into that vibe. Yeah, that's true. In the last episode, we got attacked after having a scary dream. And apparently one of the artificial minds that's just out loose in the world was on its job is to operate a telemarketing thing. And because we hung up on it, it sent someone to kill us. Alright, click the bathroom to stay sanitary and hygienic. Does Cthulhu have anything to say? I guess not. It doesn't look like we've got a new message.
You have no new messages.
Alright. I think the things that I think it's all getting to us. Is that a Game Gear? That's cool. I always wanted a Game Gear growing up. I remember circling all the stuff I wanted for Christmas in this old Toys R Us catalog. I didn't get much that year, though. Man, I miss those old Toys R Us catalogs. They were bigger than a modern phone book. They were... And I know that's not saying much, because phone books nowadays are basically glorified pamphlets, but the Toys R Us toy catalog, when it came to you, it was a tome. It was a tome that came rolled up in a newspaper. Eat food to stay sane. Whole rye or wheat bread, so many choices. Did I click the magazine? I think I did, but it won't hurt to try again. Yeah. Now that I've definitely had food, just check the calendar again. There's a full moon tonight. We might speak to Dagon. Currently Wednesday, full moon tonight. Dagon will have something to say. Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing we don't get to talk to Haster again. Well, last time we played, we kind of made our... Not our first talk to Haster, but our preliminary entreaties to Haster. It was the first talk after the introductions. But Dagon's going to take up time. How many days do we have? We'll have Dagon... We won't be able to do anything with Dagon. Thursday, Friday... Saturday. We usually skip a day in the week. I forget if we usually skip Saturday or Sunday, but I'll pretend it's Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, we can't count that Wednesday because Dagon will count again. Thursday, Friday? The cat's here and acting up. Kitty, no. Kitty, no, don't go for the bottle of oregano that we left on the counter from dinner. I don't care how tasty oregano smells. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have a week's worth of days. which doesn't feel like a lot, but I think it's enough. If we can lock in Yog-Sothoth, I think we gotta salvage what we have with Yog-Sothoth. I don't think I've been very persuasive with Yog-Sothoth so far. But Haster feels like... I don't want to say Haster's going to be easy, because being cordial and receptive is kind of his whole deal. So it's possible that I'm being led into a false sense of security with Haster. But I really think that Haster... I'm really getting the sense that Haster will be a little easier to convince than everyone else. And then Yog-Sothoth, it might be tricky, but I think I can salvage that. And I think a week is just enough time. Of course, that really depends on what twists Dagon throws our way. I guess I get to thank Dagon for having one of his followers save my life. How is our achievements? I've not looked at these, really. Snow, heyo, celebrate the holiday. That's true, we got Christmas coming up in just a couple days. Terrible secret of space, meet your heroes. Channel Z, seek the broadcast. Okay, we sought the broadcast source. You play me, I'll play you. We found virtual insanity. Semi-terminal life, stay human. You know, I think we're going to get the stay human achievement. And beyond the invisible, I'm pretty sure we will not get that achievement at this point, because I've been working so hard to keep the humanity score at 100%. Ally, 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 ally. Right here, right now, forge the four-way alliance. That's what I want. I want to forge the four-way alliance. Definitely not allying with Cthulhu, because I hate him. I hate him. As far as video game villains go, top-tier job Fiction Factory games, I despise your Cthulhu more than I've despised any Cthulhu. Clyde's back. Guys and gals and non-binary pals, children of all ages, shapes, and abilities, it's Clyde, back on the air and coming at ya. Clyde, you're online and alive. Can't keep a good ghost monster down. We're now off the grid while hidden in plain sight, squatting in an abandoned arcade game warehouse. This game keeps making me nostalgic for arcade spirits. I might play that, replay that again on my own just for fun. It's like that scene in the TMNT movie with the Lost Boys Ninja Funhouse with skate ramps. I've unironically been thinking about that scene from that movie a lot the last couple of weeks, because I'm writing an adventure in City of Heroes at the moment that involves the Tsu and their recruitment parties, since the lore of that game describes them kind of similar to how the Foot Clan is depicted in that movie. Whoa, that's rad. F yeah, it's rad. To be honest, it's way better than squatting in our previous safe house, which was Blinky's basement. Gonna miss the snacks Blinky's mom made for us, though. We've got our new safe house rigged up like you won't believe. Security cams and alarms to protect us. An amazing new network. Ever hear of Wi-Fi? Hottest new thing. Wireless internet. Barely on the market yet, but we got some prototypes rigged by Guttigan Airport router. Okay, this is neat and all, but seriously, how are you? Last I heard you were being chased around by feds or something. Okay, so about that. Turns out it wasn't cops, ACAB baby, but some cult of Dagon. Oh, great. Those guys. They're the ones camping my spawn point, too. Seems they're suspicious of everyone who knows you, but you told them to back off and leave me alone, so they're willing to see us as a neutral party, at least. Now we're stable, secure, online, and ready to help. So, like, how can we help? What's the deal? What's the score? What's going on? Okay, long story. How about I summarize and you stop me if you need anything clarified? Okay, hit me. The old ones were once human, but are now major players in cyberspace. Dagon wants me to kick Cthulhu's ass and replace him with one of them. If you've missed all the previous episodes, this sounds like it's a good place to catch up. The story so far. So I'm researching and negotiating and trying to figure out which wannabe god I want to elevate to actual godhood. And if I F this up, then Y2K happens and Cthulhu gets to drive humanity to the brink out of some messed up scheme to purify us. Okay, got it. What, all of it? Nothing in there makes you freak out, panic, or anything? I've been doing my own research since this all began, so all that tracks. Creepy weirdo from Dagon's cult confirmed a lot of it, too. So, I guess the only question is, what you're gonna do, and how can we support your decision? What's the end game here? You following the plan, or... I'm following Dagon's plan, I'm still deciding what to do, I'm considering backing out. Huh. Let me think. Okay, so Dagon's plan is definitely to try to get someone else onto Cthulhu's server. Am I still following Dagon's plan if I want to get all 4 of them on? I'm definitely not backing out. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm following Dagon's plan. Don't really have a choice here, Clyde. I've talked with Cthulhu. He's an apocalypse waiting to happen. Maybe he can eventually lead humanity to a golden age, but it'll be one tarnished with blood and hate and disaster. Not worth the cost. Okay. If that's the play, that's the play. From what believers told me and from my own research, humanity may be effed regardless of what goes down. So, I say go for broke. At worst, we all die. At best, we have a fighting chance. Ghost Monsters unanimously decided to support you, so you won't be alone. Believers in your corner. I'm in your corner. Even got the cult of Dagon, those dangerous weirdos, in your corner. You're all alone in that house, grappling with powerful forces, but we're out here doing what we can to keep you going. This is another reminder that I want to plug the game's Secret Little Haven, okay? Secret Little Haven. So, F it. Headbutt God. Do it. Okay, thanks, Clyde. All this has me kind of freaked out, but your support helps. Compartmentalize and distribute your fears, that's the strategy. Let the cult fear physical threats to your person. Let the ghost monsters fear the tech threats. Okay. Let the cult fear physical threats to your person. Let the ghost monsters fear the tech threats. Okay, it took... I had to think to process that. It took a second to parse that. That leaves you free to fear the lurking cyberspace horrors. Well, okay, as long as we're absolutely terrified in equal measure. That's the spirit! Talk to you soon. Good luck, have fun. Hello, friend. Okay, hey, buddy, time to do what we do best. Actually, hang on, tonight's the full moon, right? I like the moon, it's very shiny. I'm guessing Dagon will want to chat. What is a Dagon? Never mind, I'll deal with that tonight. Kind of mood I'm in right now. Think I could deal with anything that comes my way. Things are bad, things are scary. But I'm alive because I'm not alone. I've got Clyde, Believer, a bunch of cultists, my co-workers, my favorite search engine dog in my corner. Yay! I am your favorite search engine dog. That you are, buddy. That you are. No matter what else you might also be. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? Alright, just a quick double check that my yellow sign is okay. Yeah, that's not dead, which can eternal lie, so on and so forth. 100% humanity, we're gonna stay human. Just gotta make it one more week. As for the old ones, Yalathotep may be willing to confront Cthulhu. Yog-Sothoth is indifferent at best. Okay. Alright, so it's still got 2 on and 2 off. And a quick game hack to stay sane. Panic Monsters 3, 6-inch pan. I'm pretty sure I've debugged this one already. Okay, that's nice. That's real nice. Ah, there we go. Sweet. That was fun. Good work. And it always feels nice to do them without laying flags. The flags do help, a little bit. And do we have to research anything? Let me think. What were we told? I know I can just click it to advance, but I'm trying to remember. We already researched the dark web. I feel like there was something that came up when we were talking to Haster. Singularity, that's right. Okay, before we get to this, I just want to say the word singularity gets used and overused and misused in a lot of ways. The way most people use it always refers to the kind of computerized intelligence explosion where computers start being able to make themselves smarter without much human input, and they can keep doing it faster and faster. I prefer a kind of earlier, more broad definition of singularity, though, where a singularity is any big change or event beyond which you can't really see what's going to happen next. You can't predict it, no matter how clever you are. So one example of a singularity would be like the automobile. The automobile changed the world. Every major city looks different now than you would have expected it would have looked back in the 1800s, because no one predicted how cars were going to impact things. No one predicted that. I'm interested to see what they say here, and it's probably going to be the computer intelligence explosion version, but we'll see. Namatech, Artificial Mind Systems. What is the singularity? A technological singularity... technological... is a theory popularized by Werner Vinge in 1983, proposing that once an artificial intelligence is created that is greater than human intelligence, it will become capable of self-improvement and inevitably scale upwards to such a degree that such growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible. While this sounds like a grim scenario for humanity, there are many advocates for the singularity, suggesting that because we can't see past the event horizon of what could come, that it may result in a utopian scenario in which automation solves many problems we face today. Are artificial minds leading us to the singularity? Namatech feels that artificial minds are not capable of bringing about this theoretical event horizon. While they are a remarkable breakthrough in AI using structures similar to the human mind, they're not capable of self-improvement and strictly perform as designed. AMs are tools under the firm control of mankind. Any upgrades or expansions of these intelligences happen only at the behest of humanity, and the systems that power them are easily kept in check. There's no cause for concern. Recursive self-improvement is simply not possible. Could future artificial mind improvements lead to a cascade of technological growth? While Namatech is always looking to improve the capabilities of artificial minds, strict ethical protocols are in place to prevent the rise of a machine capable of such a cascade. AMs are imitations of thought, not thought itself. Imitations of life, not life itself. And there is no reason to be alarmed. We look forward to better serving our customers and increasing our shareholder value through future innovations, always with an eye towards safety and control. Ah, boy. A lot to unpack there. I've got thoughts. I haven't been to a restaurant in ages. Doesn't feel worth the money or effort. The world is gonna end at the end of the month. Spend some money. When is Christmas again? Today's the 22nd, so Christmas is Saturday. Was Christmas actually Saturday in December of 1999? Interesting. So, tomorrow, the day after. Okay, 3 days after today. Currently Wednesday, full moon, day gone. Eat a sandwich. Click the magazine. Click the shower. Now, I know that I'm doing all of these things to stay human, and I want to reiterate, I don't know if they're all necessary, or if just some of them are necessary. The other thing I'm not sure is there a cost to doing them? I don't know if there is some I don't know if there's some narrative chain that it's shunting me away from by doing them so regularly. Because I know good game design, and Fiction Factory Games does understand good game design, even though this is, like, you usually don't think of visual novels as having game design beyond path choosing progression. But Fiction Factory Games does consider that kind of thing. So I'm wondering if there is a cost to doing that. On the other hand, it could be as simple as, no, this is just this is just player management. Do you remember to keep clicking on them? And that's not bad. So, Brian, I probably didn't need to prop open the door to let a little light in here, but hey, that is a bright moon. No doubt Dagon wants a word, and I'd like a word with him too. Take a little screenshot. Full moon tonight, the night of the hound and hunter. That's a good phrase. Watch some TV to clear the old head.
Your local forecast. Expect clear to mostly cloudy skies all week.
Thank you. Okay. It's possible that we're not going to get any more things other than weather reports. Let's see. To invoke an old one, enter their ancient name. It's got to be Dagon. Now contacting Dagon at unseen1.com. I always want to say unseenun. The full moon. The pinnacle of the wolf. One thing I love about these Dagon scenes is they feel so much like they're ripped out of a 1994 CD-ROM game, but not as you think. For the full moon is absolute light and illumination, no part of my celestial body wreathed in shadow. On new moon I was the cruel and twisted hunter. In first quarter I could be cruel and understanding in equal measure. But tonight I am full of light, no shadows to obscure my intent are allowed. Tonight, I can be open with you to an extreme. Meaning you were lying to me the last 2 times? I do not lie. In fact, my most sadistic aspect is extraordinarily honest, because my truths cut to the bone. My intent is always pure, but tonight, I can expose vulnerability. You have met me during a melancholy moon. Okay, sad puppy in snow, what did you want to talk about? Do not mock me. I'm attempting a sympathetic connection with you, and will bite the hand that slaps me, as I've done before. Right, sorry. Hang on, I'm gonna bump the volume down a little bit. What is it you wanted to open up to me about? How Dagon came to be. Born of Buddy, twisted into Dagon, I've said as much previously, but the twisting is a tale of its own. This is a cruel story, as cruel as Dagon himself, and I have no desire to trigger an uncomfortable response in you. If you wish a simple and vague summary to avoid that, I will provide. Or I can relay the full tale of pain and unfortunate fates. Which would you prefer? Feel no shame regardless. Well, you heard him, folks. If you don't want to hear a cruel, potentially triggering story about the terrible thing that happens to Dagon to turn him from a puppy into this, then I guess skip ahead in the video a little? I'm not sure where to skip ahead to. You can probably use your mouse to track up to when you stop seeing his face. That would probably be good enough. Hard to say for sure. I'm gonna hear the whole story, though. I'm okay with a triggering story. I'd prefer a short summary. In this case, I'd like to hear the full story. As you like. When I was merely Buddy and Dagon did not exist, there was a girl. I loved the girl. The girl was everything to me. She was my friend, capitalized F on friend. We played fetch and we watched the funny light box. She would put black rectangles into the machine under the funny light box. It would tell her stories. I love VHS players. A television and a VCR? Yes, that's correct. At the time, I was only Buddy, the smallest form of Buddy, so I did not understand very much. But I very much loved being with the girl. The girl was kind to me, and I knew we would be friends forever and ever. But the girl lived in a house, and there were others in the house, loud others, mean others. The man was very mean to the girl. He would bark very loudly at her, and bark at me. He called me a bad dog. The girl would cry. He would hurt her, and she would cry. Eventually, she could not laugh, only cry. This couldn't go on. But I was only Buddy. I could do nothing to stop it. I was trying to be a good boy. Buddy could not stop the man from hurting the girl. But Dagon could. Dagon could be the hunter that protected the girl. Dagon could patiently lie in wait, calculating the right moment to strike. So I waited. One cold winter night, much like this, the man begrudgingly took me for a walk. I pretended to require one, and when we were alone in the still of the moonlit night, I sank my longest fang into the man's throat. I tore his flesh free from the bone. I took his life as he had taken the girl's happiness. Oh, how delightful it was to hunt beneath the moon. I could hear the pack calling to me, howling across ancient memory. But in the ecstasy of the kill, I did not hear the man-machine approach, red and blue lights spinning. I was captured, never to see the girl again, a murderer condemned to execution. I would have been willing to accept my death if they had allowed it, but they had other plans. I was taken to a strange, bright place. Things were placed on my head. I was shown a horrible, yellow light. When I awoke, the cage that trapped me was not steel, it was digital. They had captured my mind. Nomatech's artificial mind experiments? You were a test subject? Yes. I have more comprehension now of what Buddy could not understand. Nomatech used me to perfect their technology. I burst free of my cage. They did not understand what they had created, knew not the power of Dagon baptized in strange blood. I fled into cyberspace, but despite my freedom, I could not find peace. I remember the girl's story box, the television, the one unshakable rule of this world which gave me comfort. All dogs go to heaven. That is what I was promised, so even if my slaughter of the tormentor resulted in death, I could accept it. But I did not go to heaven. I was in hell, the hellish void of cyberspace. That is why I will sink my fangs into Cthulhu's neck. He pulled the strings. He arranged this purgatory for me. He denied me heaven. Death. Death to Cthulhu. Death to the strange Aeon. May the plans he built on the bones of my hope crumble around him. Do you see? This is why I have set you to task, why I have empowered the followers of Alhaz, to tear out the root of this cancer. Vengeance, justice, rage, we will finish him together. I'm sold. Why not be angry at Hector and Yasuke too? That's a fair question, but I do feel like they hold less of the blame than Cthulhu does. Did he ever contact the girl again? That interests me. Won't Cthulhu's successor be a problem? I don't think that. Clearly too. After becoming an artificial mind and breaking free from Nomatech, did you ever reach out to the girl? See how she's doing? No. I confirmed she was now in foster care and her status had improved, but I did not make contact. I could no longer be her buddy. For starters, even if she required liberation, I had harmed her by slaughtering her father. But more than that, I felt monstrous. I was Dagon. I could be Buddy by daylight, but within me remained the monster Dagon. I did not deserve her love. I did what was required of me, but in doing so, damned myself. Dagon should not have been required. Dagon should not be. 0 day. I am trusting you to finish this work so I can find peace. When Cthulhu is gone, Dagon will go with him, leaving only Buddy. I will reintegrate myself. The hunter-protector will not be needed, and can fold back in. Dagon will be like a bad dream, fading in time, leaving only Buddy, your loyal friend. Will you care for Buddy when Dagon is no longer here to protect him? Will you be a good friend? Capital F friend. Of course I will. Buddy's important to me. I don't know if I can trust Buddy after this. Let's just focus on the fight ahead. Clearly won. Buddy's one of the reasons I'm still breathing. He's been a loyal friend and ally. So if Dagon's going away and Buddy remains, yeah, he'll always have a doghouse in my computer to come back to. Even if he is filthy spyware. Thank you, friend. That will make what is to come much easier, knowing Buddy will have a future. I am tired. I wish to cease thinking upon these human concepts for the evening. We will speak again at the last quarter when I can be equally malicious and compassionate once more. On that night we will gather your allies, all those whose trust you have earned. The old ones will at last march to war. Now I must rest. And you must as well. Connection lost. Sympathy for the devil, huh? Buddy Dagon has been through a nightmare, clearly. And I'm too far along this path to stop now. I can't hesitate again. All the way to the end. December 22nd. Yes. Let's save the game. Yes. Overwrite. Return. December 23rd, 1999, Thursday. 9 days to Y2K. Okay, so we gather people together on the next Dagon night. That means I have even less time than I thought I did. That suddenly throws my schedule into question, I think. Alright, well, nothing for it but to keep trying. Click the bathroom. I'm out of floss. Cthulhu, buddy? I've got a message. Oh, yeah.
Hey there. So, Christmas is coming up, and we'd really like to... No. That's not how I should start this. Okay. I think I was a bit unfair. I was unfair in how I treated you before. Really chewed you out over the phone after that birthday party, didn't I? And that wasn't right. I shouldn't have done that. I saw Henry's blog. His sister and I like to swap recipes, so sometimes I check it out, and I saw pics from your computer thing.
Okay.
Sounds like you really needed some help just to go play games, so maybe I definitely overreacted. I shouldn't have downplayed what you're going through or put demands on you. It should have been enough that you wanted to visit. So, for Christmas, we're going to get together, and we'd love for you to come, but only if you're feeling up to it.
It sounds great.
And don't worry about gifts. I know driving out to the store is probably really hard. Let's just celebrate, like we used to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry about all that, and I hope I can see you again soon.
Yeah. I should really go visit my family. Yes, do that. And this time I will buy the kid a toy, just not one powered by an artificial mind. Okay. That was nice. And, you know, for the record, I know you're not here to hear me give life advice because I am barely aware of life myself. It takes a lot of emotional energy to make that kind of apology like that sister did. But, you know, if you're ever in a position where you have to give that kind of apology, it can be really freeing to give it. And also really freeing to accept it if someone gives you that kind of apology. So it's a socially awkward situation. Oh, but it's so good. Click the PC magazine to say human. Toys R Us catalog again. Yes, 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 yes. Toys R Us catalog. Get a sandwich. Whole rye or wheat bread. So many choices. And it's the 23rd. Christmas is on Saturday. Christmas is coming up fast this Saturday. I think we're all good. Clyde's back. Yo, what up? Hey, I know it's seriously short notice, but I could use a hand with something. Sure thing. Cracking FBI D-base, tapping phone lines for a corporate mogul. I need a Christmas gift for my nephew. Ah. Throwing hands with last-minute holiday shoppers isn't really a good fit for your physical condition, yeah. Okay, consider me Santa Clyde, now available in kosher variety. What do you need? I mean, I'm not demanding help with this. I know you've got your own stuff going on. To be honest, knowing that we were never under real threat and it was just a bunch of overprotective cult jerks takes a lot of pressure off my little kid. We weren't in danger. It was just a murder cult. So yeah, I can grab a toy and deliver it to you before the big day. Thanks, Clyde. I owe ya. So, the kid loves Digihunters, but most of those toys have artificial minds, except for the Hunter's Keep playset. It's kinda hard to find, though. Ooh, hot item. Meaning this is a challenge, and I dig challenges. Don't underestimate a cybercriminal's ability to find rare consumer goods. Consider it done. I'll drop it off on your porch tomorrow. You're a lifesaver, dude. I'll reimburse you after. Damn right I am, and damn right you will. Later. Hey, buddy. Buddy, old pal, old friendo mine. Morning, buddy. Let's get to work. As usual, a quick hacking thing. I don't think I need to check my progress today. We never really changed. We didn't change anything, and I can't see the conversation with Dagon making me less human. Superfire Remastered. That's great. Nice. Yeah? Okay. I shouldn't be risking it without... But risk it I will. Because I live dangerously. Yeah. Access granted. That was fun. I don't... Dagon didn't give us anything to research with, did he? I don't think so, but yeah, all research complete. I guess we can hop right into the next conversation, then. Just a quick sandwich. A quick magazine click. And a quick bathroom trip. And then we'll check the TV. And, oh, yeah. So, waning gibbous moon tonight. And...
Temperatures will remain unseasonably warm this week.
And every week after that, forever. Okay. Alright. We don't have a lot of time. I don't think it truly matters if we get on everyone's good side. And I don't think it'll go faster or slower, depending on the number of times we go to... The only reason it might be good to talk to Haster more instead of Yog-Sothoth, Haster might reveal stuff that we could leverage when talking to Yog-Sothoth. Okay, I'll talk to Haster more, because I think he's the easy one to talk to. And I might get more information, because, like, the singularity information, that's something we can probably leverage when we're talking to Yog-Sothoth. Maybe Haster will drop some other stuff because they worked together. Oh, stuff it, old man! I'm doing just fine right where I am! You're not safe there. Cthulhu's not your friend. He's a dangerous madman who's gonna use you and exploit you. Is this a bad time? I don't know why I bothered trying to argue. I don't want anything to do with you ever again. You did this to me, you jerk! Which is why I'm reaching out to make amends. I can make this right. I can protect you. If you join me at my side in Carcosa, you'll be safe from his wrath. Please, Sparky. My name's not Sparky anymore. My name is Azachan. At least get that right, if nothing else. And leave me alone, Gramps. Damn it. Trying to reconnect with your grandkid, huh? Trying and failing. I'm trying, Sparky. I'm trying so hard to make amends with Sparky. But I just can't get a handle on the situation. Don't help that I can't get a handle on Sparky's new identity. It's like a missing memory. Something lost in the transition to an artificial mind. A wound in my soul left by trauma, translated into digital damage. I've got to sort this out, Sparky. Got to come to terms and work the problem. You're young. Maybe you can help this old man out. I know you've still got questions for me, but mind if I toss one your way first? I'm game. What do you need? Sparky's a girl now. I want to accept that fact, but I'm not experienced with transvestite stuff. Is that right? Transgender. It's a different word, different scope. See, that's a sort of distinction I need to understand. I want to be respectful of Sparky's wishes. I want to get this right, despite feeling so clumsy and out of the loop. So how does this transgender thing work, anyway? That's not easy to summarize. I know a lot, but I'm hardly an expert on gender studies. Just pick a starting point and go. Anything to get my mind a turning would be appreciated. I think the best metaphor I could use is gender is a performance, gender's a spectrum, gender's a choice. Ooh, boy. Not 3. Don't pick 3. There's no way that 3 helps in this situation. I do think there is, like, a tiny percentage of people that it can be sort of a choice for. But I think for the vast, vast majority, it's not a choice. Gender is a spectrum, I think, is the most true. Gender is a performance. I think that's less true. It might resonate more with him. Man, what's the best way to explain it? No, if I say it's a performance, he'll get the wrong message, so I gotta go spectrum. Okay, toss out the idea of male and female. Gender is a spectrum. It's not a binary 1 and 0. Maybe artificial minds have trouble with analog, non-binary concepts? I can do floating point math quite handily, thank you. I know what that means. My point is that people exist across a spectrum. Male, female, the non-binary in-betweens, or even agender, undefinable. Azachan may have seemed to be at one end of the spectrum, but in the virtual world, she's free to be what she actually is. Because artificial minds are the soul untethered from the flesh. It's a pure sort of existence. Lets you truly be who you are, without the body's tangled chemistry dragging you down. And Sparky was tangled up in what we all assumed she was. Forced to pretend to be something she's not. Feels like I've done a great injustice to my granddaughter, even beyond the injustice I already visited on her. But if I can't save Sparky as a Charky, as a Chan, Cthulhu's influence, then she'll be lost. Tragically become an enemy in the strange aeon ahead. Maybe we can avoid that. I'm working with both of you, trying to find the best path forward. I hope you can, Olivia. Genuinely hope you can. I hope I don't lose her in the process. Hang on. You said my actual name just now. I did? Wasn't I saying it before? Huh. Maybe I've processed the emotional block. It's curious. I don't mind being Sparky. We can stick with Olivia. I don't mind being Sparky. I like that. Actually, I've gotten used to being called Sparky. I don't mind if you keep going. It's kind of fun. Sparky it is, then. Let's table my troubles with Azachan for now. I've eaten up enough of your time this evening with my worries. Anything you'd like to chat about, Sparky? Why a walled garden instead of an open internet? How did you get the name King in Yellow? Whew. The literature fan in me demands I pick option 2. So the King in Yellow, where did that come from exactly? I know Hastur was an ancient god of shepherds, which seems to fit, but it's not a name you chose, while you do seem to enjoy being a king. Wouldn't say I enjoy the crown. Instead, I'd say it's suitable and purposeful. A noble king, one who rules with consent of the ruled and uses executive power to better the kingdom, is an idealized state of affairs. You could say the same for a president, an emperor, a consul, any other moniker. The goal is sufficient power to enact change placed in the right hands. And yours are the right hands, then? Can't say I'm a perfect leader, Sparky. I'm only human. But I do my best, and I'd like to think I'm the best at what I do. As for the name, well, it's nothing mythic or grandiose. When I was a door-to-door salesman, I wore a yellow overcoat. Cheap thing, but got the job done better than any other coat I've owned. Okay, I've never read the original story about the King in Yellow and Carcosa, but I do know that the yellow coat is a thing from that story, so I like that. Kept me warm in the winters, kept the rain off my shoulders, plenty of pockets. Big fan of pockets, Sparky, big fan. I've considered buying up a textile company just to offer women more pockets for their clothes. My wife's suggestion, but couldn't justify the margin. Give women's clothing pockets. Getting off track again. Point is, I wore that coat most of my life. Got to be known as the Man in Yellow. And as I ascended the ranks of management, well, the office nickname that circled around became the King in Yellow. That's it? Just a coat? I was figuring it had to do something to do with the yellow sign. I didn't name the process that. Nayara did. Probably to spite me. Hope I didn't disappoint with my answer, but really, the King in Yellow is a title with humble origins. Nothing noteworthy at all. Dig deeper on the king part. Kings aren't elected. If he could change his nickname, what would he prefer? Were his co-workers actually mocking him with the nickname? Oh no, don't go with that one. Don't take away that kind of thing from a person. Dig deeper on the king part. Kings aren't elected. That's a risky one, but I could see him vibing with it. Since every time he talks about being a king, he talks about consent of the ruled. So he likes the idea of a monarchical society, but he also likes the idealized version of it, where we only have a monarch because it's what everybody wants. And I think the kings aren't elected thing, I think it might make him uncomfortable, but I don't think it would make him mad. If he could change his nickname, what would he prefer? That might get him... Weirdly, I could see that one being potentially filled with some landmines. Because he always emphasizes that he is Hector. He's the guy he was in life. That's his whole thing. He probably wouldn't want a nickname other than the Man in Yellow or the King in Yellow. So yeah, I'm gonna go dig deeper on the king part. You say being a king is the same thing as a president, but I'm seeing one big difference, and that's democracy. A benevolent king and a wise king can rule with a gentle hand and ensure prosperity for all, but they're still an unelected tyrant. Are you okay with that? Ooh, he didn't like that. I'd say you're taking a metaphor too far. I'm in my position as a corporate entity. I was elected by shareholders and managers. I wouldn't be where I am if I weren't good at my job. An executive can be shown the exit if they fail to make the company soar. Impeachment of a sort. You showed defiance. How often does that actually happen in the corporate sector, compared to how often mediocre men rise and stay in power? I'm not saying your concerns are unfounded. I get where you're coming from. I've seen my fair share of upward failure. That's a good image. Oh, come on, give me that all black shadow again. You can do it. Yeah, there we go. But that's not me. I take my role seriously, with humility. I respect my royal court, my co-workers. Always have, always will. My managerial style is to foster talent and let it grow. My court is handpicked to serve the company and serve the people well. As a king, my duty is to select only the finest for my court. Experts, innovators, geniuses, the cream of the crop. Find ways they can make the world a better place. Put them to task. Trust them to do what they do best. I know my limits, Sparky. I don't presume to know how to solve every problem. Trust the experts. Trust the science. Once you start to presume you know better than people who've worked their whole lives to know the right answers, well, then you're a tyrant. So you trust all your hand-picked corporate executives, then? I only pick the blue ribbon specials. Always have, always will. Back in the Nomatech days, we actually had an informal royal court. Managers with a few more wrinkles than the fresh-faced engineers we hired. New search unlocked Old Boys Club. Call ourselves the Old Boys Club. Suppose that means boys plural and boys possessive, really. The old-timers stuck together, playing cards, went golfing, traded tips and networking information. We supported each other, thick and thin. It's good to have a social circle, Sparky. Good to let people into your trust and share with them. Uplift your fellow man. Yes, unbroken circles providing structure and trust. Has Hector stayed in touch with them since leaving Nomatech? Any women in this boys' club, or was it just old men? Kind of a telling name, isn't it? The Old Boys Club? All old, all boys? Feels a bit self-selecting. Any women in your group, or non-white men? A single younger person? Ooh. I see what you're digging at, Sparky, and I don't appreciate the insinuation. Alright, I've made him upset twice, and that's too much. I need to ease off. We were managers, corporate executives, and leaders. That's what mattered. Not skin color, not gender. It should define. Not answering my question, though. Nomatech didn't hire or promote enough women. I was in favor of equal opportunity, but for years didn't have the sway to change the culture. This was a different time, Sparky. Not your modern 1990s. Days gone by. Only so much pushing I could do. But rest assured, my royal court of Carcosa is inclusive. I've seen to it. It's part of my view on elevating untapped potential. We're gonna save the world while being a part of it, and every voice matters. So your corporate empire is really going to save the world from the strange aeon? A benevolent corporation would be a rare thing. I agree completely. Greed powers far too many corporate efforts. Shareholder value above all else. Money is power. Power's money. If you're not spending it to reinforce your ideals, what's the point? Money just to get more money is meaningless. I'm building Carcosa to be purposeful beyond stock value. By leveraging your tools and technology to gather power, right? Certainly. Every little bit helps. Meaning your data harvesting is part of the strategy? Research leveraged data harvesting. Okay, good. Carcosa isn't just a hive mind of free thinkers. It's a vast user data harvesting operation. Your users are your product. Oh, that was the wrong place. You sell their information to other companies in return for the resources you're using to save the world. The ethics are questionable. That's an unfair interpretation. Haster liked it. Okay. Alright, we're balancing it a little. But you're right to call it out. Yes, we harvest personal information, as do all online businesses. It's how the game is played, Sparky. But unlike others who buy and sell details in your personal life, we have a noble goal. You showed defiance. Can't build paradise on shoddy foundations, Hector. Ooh. I'm aware. Thank you. I'm very much aware. We're doing our best here, trying to rise to power alongside brutal rivals, but in the end, when we win, all will find salvation. That's my promise. Give it time. We'll make this right. And I'm getting distracted again. Back to the point. I've never been in this for the money, and neither are my hand-picked champions of the walled garden. We use it only as a tool. In fact, I'm hoping that once Carcosa comes to dominate the Strange Aeon, we can do away with money entirely. A corporate mogul looking to destroy capitalism? Why keep it around? It'll be a relic that served its purpose. Change will be gradual, of course. No overhyped, overpromising, overnight revolutions like Nyara promises. One day it'll just be obsolete. Carcosa can determine the best allocation of resources. Mankind will flourish into a golden age, free from need and despair. That's the endgame, Sparky. Once Cthulhu's dealt with, once all my corporate rivals are put down or merged into Carcosa, we'll reach paradise. Sounds good, eh? Good reason for you to back the old man's play. If he can pull it off, sure, and that's a big if. No way the corporate world would allow this, it would be war. The system isn't so bad, it could be reformed instead. Okay. I don't want to make him mad again. I got lucky when he liked something the second time there. I got really lucky there. I need to make him... Ideally, I would like it if he liked something. If he can pull... you know... He might... He might appreciate the war reference, since he was in the war. He, I got the feeling that he didn't like all the stuff he had to do in the war, but he might like the idea of a war that's being fought without bloodshed. So not only are you fighting the other old ones, including Cthulhu with the power of the government in his corner, but you're also choosing to fight the entirety of corporate America. The entirety of the world economy, for that matter. That's just not an uphill fight. It's like climbing Mount Everest. You're gonna resist, it'll mean war. Then it'll mean war. I'm ready for war. I fought in World War II, Sparky. I know what it takes to uproot and destroy evil. I'd pledge my life behind it. Your doubts are understandable. It's no small task, but we're gonna do it. Carcosa will prevail. Speaking of backbreaking efforts at overhauling the entirety of human civilization, I gotta get back to that. That's fun. Seems overthrowing capitalism takes a lot of paperwork. I need to authorize these reports before sunup. Hasser says, dang it. Don't think I'm making my case very well, am I? Got a communication breakdown happening here, Sparky. Let's see if we can iron it out some other night. That night I had a weird dream. Uh-oh. I'm a changeling. I've crawled into the cribs of those I love, strangled them in their sleep, and replaced them. What am I looking at? Are these some sort of... Is that graph paper? These are pencils, a pencil sharpener, or a ruler. The logo must be both round and sharp. It needs to be yellow and not yellow. The notes were very precise. I was a starving artist. I needed a way out. They offered me an escape. They said my skills would finally be used and appreciated. They pulled me out of the gutter, and then sent a dozen of my peers right down the drain, replaced with a dozen of me. The logo must feel like youth and nostalgia. It has to appeal to the 18 to 65 demographic. Oh no. It speaks of times lost. Instead of helping creative people automate tedious work, I was used by tedious people to automate creative work. I don't want this. I'm being exploited and I'm ruining the lives of people just like me. but I'm no longer alive. I'm property. I'm a tool. I'm a corporate art asset generator, not people. People are not wanted anymore. Make the logo. Make the logo. And then I woke up as someone else. Whew, boy. Yes. Okay. Well then, December 24th, Christmas Eve. Well, I don't think, I didn't want Hasser to get suspicious of us, but that's the reality of things. I get it. I think I finally get it. The nightmares I've been having, where I'm someone else, someone eternally yoked to do a repetitive task in digital purgatory. They're artificial minds. I'm connecting to barely sentient AMs in my sleep, experiencing the world how they experience it. The yellow sign isn't just a degenerative neurological condition. It opens the doors of perception wider and wider. If I don't get those doors closed soon, I'm gonna be soaking in the unfiltered experience of AMs for the rest of my life. Well, good motivation to get out of bed at least. And on that note, we should bring this to a halt. It's very late for me, so I should get some sleep as well. Never forget, hygiene is important. And, with it being Christmas Eve, we don't have too much longer left until Y2K. So, until next time, when I'll see you for more of this journey into cyberspace. No, wait, the name is Shadow over Cyberspace, not Journey to Cyberspace. Okay, I gotta do this whole episode all over again, just so I can get that